What's going on, everyone? Today is October 25th. It is Wednesday. It is your midweek review. A couple things to note. Tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. for news, we have GDP releasing quarterly on quarterly. Also, unemployment claims coming out there. So there'll be some volatility prior to the 9:30 equities open. And then at 9 o'clock, you also have FOMC member Waller speaking. And at 10 o'clock, you have new home sales month on month. So look out for tomorrow if you guys are trading live or other demo accounts. Obviously, we don't want you trading this week on the training exercise, but if you are trading this week, for whatever the case be, I would look into tomorrow's AM session. I think that you'll probably find some setups there. Nothing on the back end in the PM session. So with regards to news, that's it. Before we get into it, before I get into DXY and Henry gets into ES, two things. One, I will not be here this weekend. I will not be on Sunday's call. I will be out of town attending a football game. So it will be y'all and Henry. And then the second thing is 2023 is ending in 60 days. And I guarantee you, if you do these things in the next 2 months, you'll become unrecognizable by January of 2024. All right. So one, manage your time, right? You're not underwhelmed. You're unorganized. You need to wake up earlier. You need to create a do list. You need to set deadlines, and you need to stick to your schedule. The second thing is focus on one thing. Everyone wants to get results, but nobody wants to stay focused. The gap between your life and the life you want is called focus. Focus 100% on one thing rather than doing 5 things with 20% of focus on each. Number 3, learn a high income skill. Learn one in-demand skill or learn one that's in demand, something that pays you for your time, right? Here you are learning something like trading. You'll be surprised how quickly you can learn, for example, this thing called trading when you actually focus 100% of your time towards it. Number 4 is make gradual improvements, right? You can't go to level 10 without level 1 habits, or with level 1 habits, excuse me. Start by reading 1 page, start by writing 1 paragraph, start by doing 1 workout, and start today. Then focus on getting 1% better on all of those things every day, and don't take for granted the minor improvements over time that lead to big changes. Look at things diagnostically, right? Instead of focusing on the negatives, ask yourself, what am I in control of? What can I do better? How can I improve those things? A problem-solving mindset will help you move past roadblocks much faster. Start viewing emotions logically, right? Why am I angry? Why am I sad? What are the things that can cause that? And what are the things that can get rid of that, right? Number 6, and that brings you to why you're on this call and why you're in this community, is create a high value network, right? You are the average of the 5 people you hang out with, which means you will adopt the traits, habits, and mindsets of those around you. Reduce time with people who hold you back and increase time with those who can pull you forward, right? And actually, there's another thing, go into deep work, right? Your focus is your currency. How you spend it is your biggest investment. Block off a few hours, focus on 1 task at a time, and remove distractions, right? Then you will get ahead of 90% of people. And last but not least, find your purpose, right? Humans were not made to sit at a desk from 9 to 5, come home every night and watch Netflix, explore the world for only 2 weeks out of the year, forget their dreams because they have to work. Everything in life becomes easier when you find your purpose and get clarity on what's next for you. So something to think about. I know this week this training exercise was doing a lot of reflecting, both inside and outside of your trading. I hope those things stick with you. If not all of them, at least one of them. And I guarantee you, if you start now, right, you've got 60 days for the rest of the year. If you start now, by 2024, you're going to be an unrecognizable person from who you are today, right? If 2024 is going to be your year, you cannot start January 1. You start now, right? Start getting in that mindset of the things that you do now will carry into, and it will be the habits that you create going into the new year, right? Don't create the habits going into next year. Create them now, right? And already be in those habits when you get into next year. Aside from that, that's all I have. Henry, do you have anything?
That's it from me. I will see everybody on Sunday's call.
Alrighty. Dollar weekly. Here we are. So, couple things to note, right? We pulled into this weekly BISI, right? Completely filled it, came all the way back up. All right, love it. We've been bullish on it. I've been vocal about how bullish I've been on dollar. You know what I've been targeting with regards to buy side. And really the only thing that's in my scope right now, I'm not going to look at anything higher or anything later right now. The only thing I'm really going to be oriented on specific levels and current levels that are going to unfold not in a month from now or whatever. So right now, my main target on buy side liquidity is 107,400. You can round up to 107,500 if you want, but really that buy side's at 107,400, right? Two things that I'm noting with regards to consequent encroachment, right? It's going to be the consequent encroachment of this wick right here, this rejection block, and then the consequent encroachment of this week, right? This weekly wick, right? Noting that we already pulled back into this BISI, I would not want to see that again, but really it's told on the daily, right? So on the daily, this is kind of what I'm looking for, right? We've now gotten back and closed back above this BISI. So if anything, any retracement, I would want it to just go in and to fill this BISI. But if you notice, and if you looked at my analysis last night that I dropped, I said that we could really hold the consequent encroachment of this BISI now that we had gotten back over it, and you can see what today's low was, right at that consequent encroachment of this BISI. Now we've traded higher. So really, I do not think a full another retracement into this BISI is needed, although it could happen, right? But besides that, I don't want to see price return back to this low, right? Last week, I was noting this low to see if we were potentially going to invalidate that. I knew that the weekly BISI was sitting below us, and so I was curious that if we did deliver below this low, did we close, right? And you can see that this is when price delivered into the weekly BISI. We did not close above it. Now we're obviously finding relief there and going higher. My main thing going into the rest of the week is if and when we get back above the equilibrium of this consequent encroachment, or excuse me, the consequent encroachment of this rejection block, I want to see that used as support, right? And I want to see dollar now try to start to find some momentum going forward, going higher, right? Last week, we kind of didn't really do anything with regards to going higher. And really the main focus was taking this internal liquidity here, right? But notice how this low did not take this high in here. So with regards to structure, we never really made a higher high off that low. So that low is really just internal liquidity, right? And that's why you see price sweep it, grab that sell side liquidity, but have no candle closure or any narrative to go lower. Right now we're going higher. So now my main focus is obviously taking out these highs and then using the consequent encroachment of that weekly rejection block right here to go higher into buy side. Other than that, that's really all I see. I would prefer for the rest of the week, obviously, I think the Tuesday low holds. I think we hold the low, but I'm curious to see if we also hold today's low also. Time will tell. Other than that, that's it for me. I'm, not going to get into really the bearish side of things because I am bullish on this, and I would prefer to, as I go forward, actually, in my analysis, if I am predominantly directionally biased over 60, 70%, I'm going to really just focus on that, give you my invalidation points, but really just focus on that, right? And really kind of get you into my eyes, in my opinion. And I do think we are bullish. I do think we do take this buy side liquidity. I could be wrong. Time will tell. Other than that, that's it for me on dollar.
All right. Let me pull up ES and we go. All right, so bullish dollar, inversely correlated means we're still taking a look at lower prices, expecting lower prices on the indices. So that means we're going to be looking for sell side liquidity and inefficiencies below the current market price on indices. So starting on a weekly chart here, we can see that 2 weeks ago, we traded up into this weekly SIBI up here and the bullish order block, 2 up close candles right here. Take that across, hitting right there, not even reaching up to the consequent encroachment. It shows this is exceedingly weak. Dropping down lower down into sell side target we were looking for down here. It's a bit clearer on the daily chart, which we'll hop into in just a second. And now, as we look to lower targets, you can see sell side resting under this low right here from May 1st, week of May 1st, and then looking at this BISI as well, the difference between this candle's high and this candle's low. Working that out, see the consequent encroachment, the midpoint right there, It's already tapped into right here. And so when I see that, I'd be curious about this area, which is the discount part of it. This is where I look for price to trade to next, under this low and into this remaining part of the inefficiency, which has yet to be redelivered. Okay, so looking down there on ES, on the daily chart, you can see this as a pretty clear market maker sell model, right? Here we have the original consolidation, accumulation, smart money reversal up here, your low risk sell, distribution, and the second leg of distribution, working down into the sell side, and then the low of the original consolidation right here. So that's the low we're looking for right here, May 4th, sell side resting under there. And you can see now we just opened up this evening on Thursday, opened with a small gap lower, trading down into that sell side target right here, which we were just a bit short of today. You can see if we mark out the body of this candle right here as the rejection block, we just reached into there where we put the low in for today. And now we have the gap opening lower to run out the sell side target right here. So I just continue to look for sell side down here. In terms of how we could potentially retrace if this does make a bit of a move higher before moving down into sell side, I'd ideally like to see price stay below Tuesday's high, treating this as a bearish order block right here, this up close candle from Tuesday, and then looking at this as a breaker as well. So the last down close candle here within a high, low, higher high, and then moving lower. You can see how it was traded into right here. Also into this little SIBI on the daily, putting in that high a week on Tuesday, and then dropping down today and going into Thursday's price action. So now, if we do trade back up into this breaker before reaching down into sell side down here, what would be permissible? Well, it would be fine if it trades back up into this SIBI, because that could be reclaimed and utilized again. Perfectly normal. And then looking what else is inside of this breaker as well. You also have this volume imbalance here and this SIBI as well in the premium of this range. So if you take your fib, put it on the high to the low, above equilibrium, you have this SIBI right there. So we could allow for price to trade into here. Again, ideally, we don't see a trade above Tuesday's high before trading down into sell side. But if we were to, I would allow price to trade up to here. What I would not want to see is a closure above the high of this SIBI. So if I just mark out right there, 43.30 and 3/4, I wouldn't want to see a daily closure above that. If we do, then we could start looking potentially for a move higher back up toward the buy side. As long as we remain below that, then eyes down here. Okay. I'll touch on NASDAQ really quickly. Same sort of idea for the most part. Monthly chart. On ES, we had already traded through the monthly BISIs, but here on NASDAQ, we have this larger monthly BISI right here. This candle's high to this candle's low. I'm just marking out the midpoint right here and using that as another area to target as price continues to trade lower. So looking for that 14,116 and a quarter. Dropping down into the weekly chart. We're now into this BISI right here. I'm including this volume imbalance in that as well. Could really include this one here as well. Now we're down into the discount portion of it. So just looking for the low end. So that's going to be your 41.63 level. Also this volume imbalance right here. And then here is that consequent encroachment of the monthly BISI. So those are the areas that I have my eye on. And then on the daily chart, you can see in confluence with that consequent encroachment of the monthly BISI, we have this liquidity void here. So no trading has taken place between this candle's high and this candle's low right there. You can see no trading, no bodies, no wicks, anything in there. So we have a liquidity void right there. That's gonna that can act as a magnet to price. Right. So that's in confluence with the monthly BISC consequent encroachment, and we could see price trade down into this area to redeliver that. Same idea with ES as far as what would negate the idea. Ideally, price stays below Tuesday's trading, right? So we don't want any sort of closure back above this high. It would be fine for price to return into this city right here and reclaim that. But I wouldn't want to see any closure above the high of this. If we do, then that potentially leads to trading back up into buy side. So just keeping eyes down here, looking for this area, and we'll see how we go into next week. Person, any other thoughts on indices?
No, I'm good. I'm all there. If you guys want to know my specific analysis, I mean, I've got almost all the same stuff marked out. I'm in the same boat. Obviously, I see dollar going higher. I see indices going lower. Sell side targets all the same. All's well there. If you guys want my specific analysis, I posted in the trade ideas. So other than that, I think that's it for me. I don't really have anything else on my end, so I'm good.
Cool. Yep, that's pretty much it from me as well. Stay active on the site. Go check out the Spaces by Wix app. You can connect with us on there and use the mobile version of the application. It's really good. You can see all the groups and the forums on there. So that's pretty solid. Otherwise, stay safe the rest of the week. You know, we still have a lot going on geopolitically, so just be cautious and understanding of potential higher risk and volatility in the marketplace. And otherwise, I will see everyone on Sunday. Take care, y'all.